Hi, I'm Beth from West Coast Wool, and today I'm going to give you a tour of my studio and workroom. So come on in. So the first room I'm going to show you is my studio where I do most of my stitching. And after that, I'm going to show you the workroom. So this is my studio, and this is where I package up all the orders and I keep some of my patterns. So come on and have a look. And I'm going to show you a few things about this room. This is where all the threads are, and I've got everything labeled, all the threads that I sell, and notions. And this is where I keep some of my sewing supplies. I have these great cabinets from IKEA that I won't show you the inside because they're really messy. And I also have this great cart on wheels. I know a lot of stitchers have these. This has been wonderful. It moves around. I have all my sewing stuff on it. And here is one of my main sewing machines that I'm using right now. And it's a Juki Haruka. I just got it. I'm still learning how to use it. So I have this machine out for stitching. And I have a couple other machines, but they're put away right now. So let's move over here. I take a decorative painting class once a week, and because we're in the middle of COVID, it's a Zoom class. So I have everything set up on a little table here, and then I just push it next to my computer, and I just kind of keep everything out. Keeps it all nice and neat, and I don't have to do much. And then I have my desk and my computer. So, what else can I tell you about this room? I have some of my decorative painted pieces here. I keep a yarn stash in the ottoman. And as you can see, the lighting is really good in this room. And let me show you my bookshelf. So I keep all my magazines and my quilting books on this shelf. I have a few projects. I store my quilting patterns and my wool applique patterns in binders with plastic sleeves. I find this is the easiest way to keep track of everything. And anything that I might be working on, I keep on the shelf so I can grab it quite easily. So one of the other things I really want to show you is how I store some of my threads. I have different places for threads, but one of the things that I started doing was putting them into these little bags, these floss away bags, and putting them on a ring, and then coordinating different kinds of threads so that I can grab them easily. So what I've done is use command strips, and these hooks are great because they don't damage the wall. You can organize your threads into categories and different types of threads and just hang them up, and then when you're ready to use something, you just grab it off the wall and then grab the thread that you need. So I wanted to show you that. And so now we're going to go into the workroom, and I'm going to show you where I keep all of the fabric. So this is my workroom. This is where I keep all my fabric. I do my cutting, I store my samples, and also my cotton fabric stash. So come on in and let's have a look. So I got this room when my oldest moved out in February, so it's still a work in progress. We're trying to figure out the best way to store everything. And because I'm not going to shows right now, everything is in bins and stored away. And so everything's kind of tucked in, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this room. I have some of my quilts hanging up on the wall, and back here I have some undyed wool on the bolt. I have some dyed wool pieces. I have, this is where I keep all of my color cards and my dye formulas. So I have about 3 boxes of those. I keep patterns on the bottom shelf, smaller pieces of wool. You can kind of see that. And over here, I have just my ironing board that's set up, always ready to go. And I have some projects that are in progress right now. There's a bunch of stitch-alongs going on that I'm working on too. I have this bin here. It's full of kit pieces. So when I'm kitting something, I usually bag it up and put it in here to keep it all organized. So these bins are all full of wool. And then I have a notebook that I keep notes on all the different kits that I put together. I kind of keep that neat. So what you're going to see next is my fabric stash. This is actually very organized, although it may not look organized, but this is about as organized as it's going to get. It's not as big as other people's stash, but I consider it a big enough stash. So what I do, I've got these bins. I sort of color code everything unless I'm working on a project, and then I'm pulling all kinds of stuff. We took the doors off of this room, the closet, so that I could just keep it open so I could see everything. I have a bunch of stuff on the shelves. I've got my featherweight. I noticed that a lot of stitchers always show their featherweight. So I have a featherweight I'm still learning how to use. I have bins of projects that I've labeled just with some sticky notes of things that I've started or I'm going to start that I've pulled fabric for to kind of keep them nice and neat. And I want to be able to see it, so when I work on it, I can just grab the bin. And I also have some other projects here. I have some stash of supplies, filling bags. But one of the things I want to show you, I learned from a friend this year, was how she was storing some of her projects. And I thought it was the coolest idea. So she has either projects that she has kitted or in progress that she's had to hibernate, and she has them all hanging up on these hangers. And I wanted to show you. She had put them in bags, so I just went around and found any bags that I could put some projects in that I either wanted to make or that I was working on, and hang them up right here. So basically what I can do is I can just go through and either look for a new project, pick up one that I was working on. You can see it real easily, and it's all neatly organized. So I thought that was a really great way of organizing some of your projects. And then on the back of the door here, I have my color samples just put in rings so that I can grab them quite easily. So I've got a bunch of color samples here and some selvages. I keep the selvages. So what else can I show you? On my work table, I have a couple of things that I keep. I have a place where I store all my rulers, all my scissors, marking pens, and oh yeah, I've got to have your reading glasses. And also what I call the go back bin. Whenever I'm stitching something and I'm pulling a lot of colors, I don't necessarily want to put it away right away. And so I always usually have a little bin on my table that I can just put random threads in, and then later on I'll go back and organize them when I have more time. So that is my workroom. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe, like, and share, and keep it woolly.